Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Mr. Ulas Kamath, Joint Managing Director at Jyoti Laboratories, joining in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Kamath, and as always, a pleasure to speak to you as well. Mr. Kamath, my first question coming to you is overall, if you see in terms of the way the trend has been, there was a lot of pent up demand that we were seeing. Do you think there has stability that has now emerged with regards to where demand goes? And secondly, distribution was a concern as well. So, have all of these factors stabilized now?
Yeah, I think both of the things have stabilized very nicely, and demand. I'm still seeing the double-digit demand. I'm seeing, and rural is still growing. While there were some concerns about the rural growth, for as far as our company is concerned, still 40% of our business coming from rural India, and the growth is a little better than the urban growth what we are seeing. But maybe little moderation here and there in some pockets of rural India. But at this point in time, we are not seeing a slowdown as such in the rural India, and probably 1:1.25 is what we are seeing the growth in the rural compared to India. As far as the distribution is concerned, during the COVID time, the first thing what we did is recruiting new people and reaching the places, because as you know very well that during COVID time the wholesale was completely choked, and the retail distribution in the rural India was a big challenge and the task, and we put the people in place and we use the technology wherever it is like required, and using the Salesforce automation we are able to reach now to villages of the population of 10,000. With that, we are good with distribution also, and that's how we see 16% top line growth in the last quarter.
Right. So overall, how has this? I mean, there was a change in strategy that a lot of companies adopted during COVID. Are we continuing with the same, or do you think we're again getting back to normal way of doing business that we were seeing earlier?
Very good question. In fact, no, definitely will not go back to the original business model the way how we used to do in the past. So wherever we have seen the efficiency, wherever we seen the improvement, definitely we will be going straight to the customer wherever is possible. In our case, customers are the retail, and we'll be going straight. And we already put in the machinery, and technology has become very, very handy. And I can say for our size of 2,000 crore company, we are able to manage 2,400 odd salesmen. Real time, we are able to see the data now, real time sales, which was not possible in the past. And during COVID, we were able to implement the new technologies which is available for Salesforce automation, and that will stay. The second one is the management of the supply chain working capital requirement. Now we are at about 12 days. It used to be about 22 days pre-COVID levels. From there, we came to 20, 18, 15, and last quarter, we are just 12 days of our working capital is blocked in the marketplace. So that itself is a big achievement. So all these things will bring you additional efficiency, and this will stay with these improvements, so we don't have to keep more stock than really required.
Right. And overall, if you see in terms of input prices as well, I think across categories, you've seen an increase. So what's the kind of price hike that we've taken, or you absorb the costs?
For us, for the quarter by the September quarter, the overall impact on the net sale was about 12%, unprecedented. And in my 30 years of experience, I've not seen this kind of an increase of raw material over a continuous period of 6 quarters. And to put a number, 1 rupee has become 1 rupee 80 paisa, 1 rupee 85 paisa. At some places, 2 rupees also. To that extent, the increase has happened. And yes, wherever it is possible, practical, we have taken the price hike. In the last quarter, impact was 12% on our net sales. We are taking a price hike of 5%, and we have taken a hit of about 7% in our gross margin. Because the intent is to get the market share, intent is to get the market share. So with that intent, we are spending more money on advertisement and getting the market share, which is very, very evident. We have garnered the market share in all the segments which are present in all the product categories. That helps us to believe that invest more and spend the money and get the market share.
Right. And overall, in terms of advertisement and promotion spends, we've already gone to 6.9% of net sales. So are we seeing it increasing from here on, or will we stabilize at these numbers?
It's a very dynamic. We have increased our advertisement spend. Last quarter, we were about 60% more. Coming quarter, I mean, this quarter gone by, we are about 35% more than the previous year same time. And we are getting the top line growth. So we continue to spend. Our budget is to spend 50% more than we have spent in the last year. we are more or less there, and we continue to spend on advertising. With number of products are 10 products, and we need to ensure that every product is known, seen everywhere. To that extent, advertising spend will be on the higher side, about 50% and more than what you have spent in the last year.
Right. And in terms of the different categories as well, which do you think will be growth drivers from here on?
For us, the dishwash has been a champion brand. We have been growing around 20% year on year for the last 4-5 years. Market share also we have got now 13.5% all India, but states like Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, we are all at number 1 or number 2 position. So that makes us to believe that over a period of time in the next 4-5 years, we can get confidently 25% market share in all India. So our first big bet would be on dishwash segment, both XO and Pril, followed by Margo, again 100-year-old brand and doing extremely well. When we acquired that from Henkel, it was 65 crore brand. Now it is almost touching 200 crore brand, highly profitable. So we'll be spending money on Margo and Margo face wash, Margo hand wash, and Margo sanitizers. All of them have come in the same portfolio, and followed by household insecticides. Again, every 4th coil sold in the country is ours, and 10% market share we have in the liquids as well, growing very well. And finally, the detergent business, fabric care business is always there. We've been there, but we penetrated, highly competitive. In Ujala, we have 85% market share, but the rest of are, it's a very competitive market. But we have a healthy growth and healthy margin. So in that order, I would put my priorities.
Right. And overall, do you see continued double-digit volume growth?
Absolutely, yes. I'm a firm believer in consumption story of India, and we have been doing that. And in the past, few years we got hit initially by demonetization. By the time we could recover the GST, and by the time we recovered the GST, the COVID came in. So there was a reason for all of us to say, it is growing, not growing, but today everything is behind us. And the GST collection is at 1.3 lakh crore. You can imagine that, it's a second all-time high. If we cross 1.4 crore, then it's all-time high. So it's a completely consumption-led, economy. And fighting an economy, what we are trying to plan, it cannot be away from FMCG consumption. So with that, I'm fully confident that double-digit growth going forward for a few years is possible. And I always used to say that FMCG growth will be 5% plus the GDP growth. So if GDP is 1%, so 11-12% should be the FMCG growth.
Right. And very lastly, in terms of our business goals, what are the new initiatives that we should be watching out for?
Right now, for us, we are consolidating all our portfolio brands. All of them are doing extremely well. Till 31st March, we'll be doing consolidation thing, whatever we have. And also margin, which used to be 16-17%, we have come down to now 11-12%. So we need to find out the ways and means to go back to 16-17%. They're all the immediate goals for us. And thereafter, you will see some beautiful launches coming out of our R&D in the next year. So we are all ready, waiting for the right time to launch. And also, now that we are debt free, but the balance sheet is also extremely strong, and we can take some big decision to launching new products in the coming years.
Right. So overall, it looks like a strong growth map from here on as well. Thank you, Mr. Kamath, so much for joining us on the show. Always a pleasure to speak to you. Happy Dhanteras, happy Diwali, and a prosperous New Year to you from Nirmal Bang and all of us as well.
Thank you, Hiral. It's always nice to talk to you, and happy Diwali. And,
wish you the same.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.